Okay, looks like we're live. Gonna wait a bit for people to enter chat. I really wish I had a second monitor. Well, it's fine. You know, your setup is what your setup is. Don't exactly have space for it right now. Not home. Part one, not really streaming as much. Well, for now, I'm just gonna explain my jades. You know, just in case somebody's not interested in that. Usually I run which one is it? A movable jade. Harness force, just with the extra computing power I have, and focus jade. Because I don't use my chi too often. And, you know, it has good synergy with the movable jade. So this is reduce the time for my charge strike whenever I'm standing still. And it's very easy to do that. Like, see how long it usually takes to charge? And then it charges a little faster for like saying this. Honestly, you don't see that effect because I don't have to equip for this fight. But I feel this is pretty useless in this fight because you just have to hit a bunch of clones to see if any of them are real. And that basically wastes your time charging. I never really do combos in fights, I just always go for the charge strike, so it's really compatible with my playstyle for general enemies. But this fight makes you do things on their own terms. I also usually have Stasis Jade, but you know, once again, not really a useful one here. This one's like my boss fight Jade, but you know, since I'm not using charge strike, this is even less helpful. Because if I do, by habit, do a charge strike, then it just wastes one count of chi, I guess I'll say. Charge. That's the language they use. One charge of chi for no reason. And then, like, I'll just whiff it, because the clone's not real. And there's no wasted tone until you hit. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about which I am using now. Iron Skin Jade converts some of my damage to internal damage, which, you know, is bad. You don't want to really be getting hit, but like it's basically giving you some extra health. As long as you can parry, you can stay alive indefinitely. And generally, I'll like do perfect parries to remove some of my internal damage. And I think that one of my skills lets me transfer internal damage to the opponent. I think it's only if I do a charged, unbounded counter, which is like this. Those are a little bit tricky in most cases. And this one's a little bit cheap, but like I kind of been using it to learn to fight. A Revival Jade, which lets me just come back once. Everything else just isn't really worth it. Like even this, what am I gonna use this for? Have an extra slot. Anyways, let's do one running fight. That. Oh wait. Sorry, I'm getting into muscle memory. This is basically a phase 0. You don't even really have to do anything for this. I say getting hit. So I'm trying to talk while explaining. Sorry, talk while fighting. The fact that I can even do this is kind of a testament to how easy this is. This is basically phase 0, not even phase 1. You can already see like kind of counter the attack. So that skill I can only do air parry on. If I do a ground parry, it just won't work. That one I can either do an air parry on to like take full advantage of, or an unbounded counter if I'm feeling really confident, but that's really hard to time. As you can see by me trying it there. You also can't tell what attack's gonna be beforehand, so just you have to charge it. Not really viable. For that attack, you just have to dodge it. The one that like comes in from the air. Because there's no way you're gonna get an unbounded counter in time unless you just saw it coming in advance. Like that. As you can see, if I try to ground counter that, I just get hit. Doesn't really hurt like the air counter unless you counter from both sides. So it's good for both air counter only moves and ground counterable moves. Let's see what else there is. That one you just have to like get the timing on. You parry it first, and then you parry 2 after that, kind of like a rhythm game. That one you can either dodge, or you can do an unbounded counter if you see it coming in time and have enough space. You can also air dodge that. Once again, this isn't really a real phase, this is just meant to keep the attacks before things get actually difficult. It's a really tricky timing. You can also do this, of course. Or just, you know, dodge right through it. You have 5 frames. That one's a little tricky, because sometimes you think it's that attack, and it's better to parry too early than too late. Because if you parry too late, you just take full damage. If you parry too early, you just take a little bit of, internal energy damage. Even though this is an easy fight, I do have to think for some of these attacks. I think that's all the patterns. I guess I'm gonna die on purpose here. I was gonna die on purpose to one of the ground counter attacks to show you how hard it is to get unbounded counter on, but I think that's enough for now. So yeah, let's do this for real. It's been a week since I last played this, so it's gonna take me some time to warm up, get my muscle memory back, but you know. Oof, I messed up that timing. Alright, this is one where you have to do like charge attack on. Not really worth it, but like you still can. Well, it's worth it, but like you don't really get much more from it, you know. That's how easy this phase is. I don't know why I wasted my chi on that. Well, it's whatever, I'm gonna get it back necessarily. We have to do at least 1 counter here. So this is the second phase where he gets clones, right? You see what I mean by it's not worth it? Because you can't tell the difference between the clones. Oh, I messed up that phase completely. You just kind of have to hit all of them and guess which one's real. And then when you find the one that's real, you use the talisman on them. Ooh, I messed up that. Oh, I found the real one. But yeah, if you use the talisman, it freezes all the others. I should not be using the pipe early though. Oh yeah, I should have talked about my build. Usually I use the full blast talisman, but because of I don't have it fully upgraded, I'm using the full control one. Wow, it is hard to talk and play at the same time, and I could have gotten a blast there. Yeah, you have to do a lot of thinking in this phase. See what I mean by charging my full charge strike by habit. Anyways, now we're on the second phase or third phase, so it's the second real phase. Now you can actually tell which one's real. Like, I feel like that doesn't make much sense. Like, why would you train the player to think, oh, I can't tell the difference between any of them, and then make an actual difference? And oh, I messed up there. That's like one of the most consistent places where you can hit while people busy talking. I missed. Oh, I can't hit her before. Well, I fumbled there. I messed up. And first try. I played kind of awful there, but, you know, it worked out. And finally, I got my Mystic Nymph back. That was a pain. I felt like going around to explore. So yeah, that's it for now. Let me know if you want to see more of this.